We have just secured the first location for my short film, Broken Measures. I'm excited, man. Let's go. Finding the right location is pivotal for your film's success. What's up, y'all? My name is Chris, and I'm doing this new series in which I, the filmmaker, walk you, the viewer, through how I make my short films. And to do this, I'm going to be using my short film, Broken Measures, as an example. I'm excited. The video clip that you saw in the beginning was recorded back in October, and it was just after me talking to the building manager of a beautiful location that was just perfect for my film. This episode, in case you haven't figured out, is all about location scouting and securing locations, and how I think I'm gonna start prioritizing this part of the filmmaking process way earlier, like before I start casting, before I start making a schedule, all of that, before I start building my crew. I think I'm gonna start looking at location scouting first. First of all, it's important to know that if you had a bigger budget, you would hire a location scout to do all of this for you. They would work alongside everything else that you have going on and help you find the right locations. But when you are wearing many hats, as indie filmmakers often do, you need time to find the right location. Think of it like an airplane taking off. The more people you have in your crew, the shorter the runway that you'll need. But when it's just you doing all the tasks, building the schedule, finding the locations, you're gonna need a longer runway if you wanna, take flight. I have found, as a solo filmmaker, even though I have a producer, I still think this would fall into the category of, solo filmmaking. I have found that when you check the box of location scouting off first, that just kind of helps make the process a lot easier. And there are a number of reasons why I say this. The first of which is time. It takes a long time to find the right location. Let's say, for example, I'm shooting a school cafeteria scene, okay? So I need a cafeteria. Easy enough. And there's probably a long list of potential locations, let's say 15, that can serve as a school cafeteria for my scene, whether it's a real cafeteria or it's a place that looks like a cafeteria. I want my cafeteria to be around 2,000 square feet because, let's face it, things look better on film when it's just bigger and everything's exaggerated in film. And I want natural light in the school cafeteria. So I want like a wall full of windows on one side and maybe a wall of windows on the other side so that the DP, which is me, can come in and haze up the cafeteria and throw some nice big shafts of light through the cafeteria. It's just gonna be beautiful, right? So I need this school cafeteria, 2,000 square feet, natural light. Congratulations. You just knocked your 15 options down to about 5. Okay, and of those 5, 3 of them won't allow filming in their cafeteria. Oh, but it's just my short film, and I'm a local filmmaker, and we're doing a family-friendly film, and it's only gonna be a few of us, and my crew's really small. I'm not gonna trip any breakers. No, you can't film here. It's for liability purposes. We just kind of want to stay away from that. So now you have 2 potential locations, one of which you can't get them to call you back for whatever reason. They just won't pick up the phone. So now you have 1 potential location that would be perfect for your film until you find out the price, which is $2,500 a day. So now you're thinking, well, dang, maybe I'll just go back to that first location, the one that I couldn't get anybody to pick the phone up for, because $2,500 a day, that's a lot of money. Maybe I can just go back to that first location, knock on some doors, maybe I know somebody. And let's be clear, everything that I just laid out, the process of going from 15 locations down to 1, that can take months. I explained it in minutes, but the process, writing emails, making phone calls, filling out submission forms, finding insurance, that can take months. It takes time, all to find out that we don't allow filming in our facility. But let's talk about cost. Let's say you decide, nope, the cafeteria that costs $2,500 a day, that's what I want. That's gonna be perfect for my film. Well, do you have that money? If you made a budget beforehand, does this fall within your budget? Or are you making the location scouting process a part of your budget building process? Either way, if you don't have the money, you need time to get the money. And who knows how long that's gonna take. But again, the operative word in here is time. One could say, that's why I wrote a film that takes place in only 1 location. To which I would say, great, good for you. Very good job. That's forward thinking. But I've already done that before. I wrote a short film called Shine. It took place in one location. It was like in a hospital room. And the film turned out great. It was really good, but I'm ready to try something new. I want a film that expands the character's world to more than just one location. And if you want to expand the world to more than just one location, then you're going to need to go through the exhaustive process of finding locations, not just once, but maybe 8 times. Who knows? This is why I want to prioritize location scouting first. I live in Texas, and the filming process in Texas, even today, is not as common as it is in, let's say, a place like Los Angeles. And so when you approach establishments with this request to film in their location, they may not understand or may be a little hesitant to grant your request because they just don't know what you're talking about. This is how I approach them and what has kind of worked for me, or seeming to work for me. I come up and I'm like, really friendly. Hi, my name is Chris. I'm a filmmaker, and basically tell them what I do, where I'm from, kind of give them my credentials a little bit, tell them what the film is about, and go forth with my ask. That usually leads to a really interesting conversation because they might be like, oh, cool, you're shooting a movie here. Wow, I didn't know that people did that around here. When I'm done, I will leave with them a sheet, and it's got like a nice letterhead, and basically it's full of information about what we just talked about. Greetings, I'm a local filmmaker from the Baytown area with a passion for telling stories that can inspire and entertain. I'm currently in the planning phase of my film project, which includes finding suitable locations for each scene, and would like to feature fill in the blank in one of them. I provided more information about the process of filming at your amazing location and sincerely hope to feature fill in the blank in this short film. Then I go down the list and make it kind of really clear what this process would look like. So I have like what we would need, and then I have a little paragraph. The time and duration that we would need your location, I have a little paragraph. Compensation, because you're gonna have to pay. Credits, letting them know that their location will appear in the credits of the film. They'll be like, oh, cool. And additional information. You can add really whatever you want here. Make a nice little closing. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to call me. And then you leave your information at the bottom. I leave this with them because you're giving them like this whole influx of information, right? It's like a whirlwind coming right at them, right? So they might forget some stuff. I leave this with them so that they can think about it and reflect on what we talked about. Give them time to think it over and maybe follow up with them, in like a day, 2 days, maybe a week, something like that. All right, so that's locations and how I do it and what has kind of worked for me. We mentioned a few other things in this video. We mentioned budget, and we can talk more about that, but I actually want to explore in the next video all about casting actors and working with agents and how it's easier than you might think, especially if the agent is nice and personable. We're going to talk about the website that I use, which is Breakdown Services, and just kind of how my whole casting process goes, even auditions. Until then, be blessed, stay inspired, and always shoot for the difference.